What's going on YouTube? I'm back with another daily investment update video for you guys. This time I'm going to be walking you through how my daily investment in the Vanguard VGT has been going over the last 284 days. Guys, I've invested a total of $2,840 into this investment over the last 284 days. But in all actuality, it's been over a year. I started investing $10 every single day into this investment back on March 1st of 2025. And since that time, we've just let it ride. You guys know the motto over here on this channel of invest and chill, and we have our account set up to do just that. If you guys have started investing with me at any point since January 1st of 2024, drop a comment down below. Let me know, how long have you been investing with me? What are you investing in? And more importantly, how is your investment doing? Because as we know, this week has been crazy. It's been on fire. And to be quite honest with you, it surprised me a little bit because the market was going the other way over the past several weeks. We've had the war in the Middle East going on, and then we've had a ceasefire. The ceasefire's off. We have a blockade in the Strait of Hormuz. And through all of that, the market continued to rally and hit heights all through this week. All of the losses that have taken place in all of my portfolios have since recovered and are all now in the green just over this past 3 or 4 days. Guys, you guys know I always say that the market is unpredictable and it's often extremely volatile, which is why we don't try to time the market. We know that we have a cadence, whether that's daily, weekly, or monthly, where we're going in, we're picking our favorite stocks and index funds, we're investing in them, and we're not worried about whether or not we're buying when the market is going up or the market is going down. And this rally in the market shows you why this is the approach that I take. It's the approach that I believe will give you the best probability of being able to build out your net worth. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at my investment in VGT, and we're just gonna see how it's been performing for me. So right now, I am up a total of $487.40, and that equates to 17.18%. Guys, investing in the stock market is the way to build wealth. 17% on my investment over the past 284 days. And imagine if I would have just had that money in a high yield savings account earning 3 to 4% interest. I'd be nowhere near where I'm at right now. Now, of course, we know that this could change at any point in time, but this just illustrates the power of investing and how quickly your investments grow over time. And then if we take a look in the top right corner, on the day, I'm up $36.35, and that equates to 1.11%. I have a total market value $3,323.66, a total cost of $2,836.26. And then if we take a look at the average price, $676.46. And then we have a total quantity of 4.19, so almost 4.2 shares of VGT, and then the position ratio, 29.36%. If you haven't watched any of my previous daily investment update videos in this portfolio in Webull, I'm investing in VGT, Vanguard's VTI, Vanguard's VOO, and Charles Schwab's SCHD. But this position makes up about 29% of my portfolio, and the last price that we were able to purchase this was $792.71. So if you take a look at the $792.71 that I was purchased at today versus my average price, then you see that spread. So you see when the price moved back, where we were able to average in at that lower price point. And then of course you see the last price that we were filled at. All right, now let's take a look at how VGT ended the trading day. So we ended at $791.94. And I believe that Webull goes in on every single day between 1:30 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to do these buys. So sometimes we may close lower than we were able to be filled at, but I'm not too worried about that because it's all in the same neighborhood. And then of course, if we take a look at where we opened at, 787.80, and then the prior close was 784.02. 52-week high, 805.33. Keep that in mind. That's what I always watch. Whenever I'm looking at my investments across all of my portfolios, I always try to look, what's the 52-week high? And in this case, it's 805.33. And what's the 52-week low, which is 482.79. Man, I wish we had more opportunity to get it at that point. But those are the bands that I typically watch. And as we either increase or decrease, that's what I'm watching. Can we hit those bands? And if we do, what happens when we hit those bands? All right, now let's flip over. Let's take a look at the chart. I love the chart on VGT. Right now, we're looking at a yearly candlestick chart. And as you can see, it's shooting up like a rocket. I'm always concerned when I see this shape forming on a candlestick chart. I'm always wondering, when is resistance going to smack this back down? Because usually when stocks move this sharply to the upside, there's going to be some selling that comes afterwards. But man, we have just been kind of steamrolling right ahead. And I still think that there may be some possibility that we pull back in the market at some point in 26 or 27, but we're just going to continue to do our thing regardless of what happens. All right, so let's quickly go over dividends here. Over the last 284 days, I've received a total of $8.44 in dividends, and that has been reinvested back into my position. Guys, this is not a dividend play for us. I have SCHD, which focuses on dividend payouts, but VGT, it just doesn't pay that great of a dividend, but we're not worried about that because we know it's an aggressive growth, technology-based index fund, and it moves when the biggest movers in the technology sector move. And the companies that really drive this fund are NVIDIA, Amazon, Apple, Tesla. Those are the big dogs, and they have all been on fire this week. They're all starting to surge back to the upside, which is why you're seeing VGT make a big turnaround and start moving in the other direction. Let's take a look at some of the comments that you guys left on the last VGT update video. I'll just go through a few of these for you guys. First comment right here, VGT is on sale right now. At that point in time, it absolutely was, especially if you look at the price a little over a month ago versus where we closed today. It was absolutely on sale, and hopefully you were able to average in at that position whenever you left this comment. All right, next comment, buying QQQ fairly cheap right now. Admittedly, I enjoy it when it is green more than now when it's red, but I know the shares I buy now will be worth the most. Look, QQQ, another solid investment, aggressive growth. It's just not focused on the tech sector, and that's fine. If you're looking to invest in a growth fund, you can't really go wrong with either one of those. Now, look, I've said this in the past, I'll say it again. I prefer to invest in the market when it's pulling back or when it's red, because I know that these are long-term holds for me. I'm not worried about the next 2 to 5 years. I'm worried about the next 15 to 20. So if it's red now, completely fine, because I'm averaging in at that lower price. And whenever I'm ready to cash in, then that's when I worry about if it's green. All right, the next comment here, remember investing giants like Buffett, Ramsey, and Munger, capitalizing on buying shares as the economy dips hard, made them vast amounts of money. There's a potential for everyone here to do the same. It gets scary, but if history repeats itself, we can be well rewarded for our consistency since the market has continuously recovered stronger than it's ever fallen. That is the time to buy. When everybody's running for the hills and selling their shares, that's the time to actually buy, because the market's going to recover. History is going to repeat itself when it comes to the market. It's going to recover, and those of us that stay consistent are going to be the ones that get rewarded at the end. All right, that's my 284-day investment update in the Vanguard's VGT. I'm up over 17%, and I'm really liking my investment to this point. It's my strongest investment that I have in this current portfolio. And if you've caught any of my prior update videos, but you still haven't started investing yet, ask yourself a question. What are you waiting on? The time is going to pass anyway. 5-10 years is going to be here before you know it, but you could be working right now to set up your financial future for tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.